So in this video we are going to see about ng app as well as ng init. So as you know, ng is the prefix that we are using in Angular JS. So normally ng app is a directive which is used for initializing an Angular JS application. At the same time, ng init is the directive which is used to initialize the application data. So there is a difference. The ng app directive is used to initialize the application. At the same time, the init directive is used to initialize the data which is in the application. So you can see the scripting here. It starts from div. So ng app is equal to null, right? I am not doing anything here. So in ng init, I am initializing the data first name as John. Alright, I am initializing the application data first name as John. So in the next line, you can see here name is the label and input type is equal to text. Okay, so I am going to include a text there. So a text box will be presenting in the output screen, and where what I am going to do is I am going to print the value of first name with the help of data binding. So the two-way data binding can be achieved here, right? So you are writing something, so the written data or the name will be displayed in the output screen with the help of data binding. So you can see there is a double curly brace, and inside double curly brace we are using first name. Alright, so in this example you can see here we are initializing the application data called as name as array. Okay, so the array contains 3 elements, right? So with the index number 0, 1 as well as 2. So you can see in the array there are 3 different names, right? So I am using an unordered list, and which is displayed here as UL, unordered list, and inside the list I am using the directive called as ng repeat. So as I told you earlier, ng is the prefix that I am using for the directive, as well as repeat is the function, right? So what I am going to repeat is the values inside the array. Here I am not using any for loop to get the values inside the array. So the name of the array is names, names, right? So I want to get the value with the help of the variable called as x in names, right? So name is the array name, right? So each and every element inside the array will be binded, okay, inside the curly braces called as x, okay, and this will be displayed in a list, right? So now we are going to see somewhat details about ng app. So as I told you earlier, ng app is the directive which defines the root element of AngularJS application, and this tells the AngularJS part of the HTML document to be treated as the application. So this will be treated as what? As an application. So we can include the ng app in the HTML element or inside the tag of HTML body as well as div element, right? So this is used to define the scope of your AngularJS application. So when a page is loading into AngularJS, which initialization of the application within the element contains what? ng app directive as well as the process of AngularJS directive and the expression that is found inside the scope. So you can see here in the example we are using HTML and the ng app directive is used inside the HTML. So the scope, okay, so the AngularJS application is defined within this scope. Okay, within this scope I am declaring the directive of ng app as well as the name of the ng app is what? My app, right? My app is the name of the directive, right? So this is how we are going to use the ng app directive. At the same time, we can see here ng init directive is used to initialize the variable or execute the expressions in the AngularJS, right? So when the page loads, automatically the variable will be what? Initialized, and it is used for executing the expression, right? So this ng init is used to set the initial value for a variable. You can see in the example right? I am using ng app, ng controller directive as well as ng initiation, init, right? So in the initialization I am going for the variable name called as name. Okay, so name is the variable name. So inside name I am using the value called as John. Alright. So this init sets the initial value of the name. So what is the initial value of the name here? John is the initial name of the initial name. So when the data is been binded, the value will be what? John. So hello John will be printed, okay, when I am executing this scripting language. So this is not at all recommended to use init function inside Angular JS. And what is recommended? Then what is recommended? Okay, so initializing variable in a controller function using scope object is highly recommended. You can see here scope is the object which is used inside the function, right? So I can use it as scope dot name is equal to John. Alright, so here initializing the name with the help of the controller. Okay, so this is happening in ng init, and this is happened by means of controller. The name of the controller is what? My controller is the name of the controller, right? So this is how it's going to work for ng app as well as ng init. So see you in the next video. Thank you.